my champion. Yes, my lady. It is everything I hoped it would be. You will want for nothing as long as you stay by my side. As long as you are loyal. As long as you never fail. Yes.
Hey, Kensa. Is this the luxury you sought? To be a slave to an enemy of Egypt?
What? Tired yet? I'll kill you! Got you! What? Eat this, you shit! Hey, what? Nothing. Let's stay down.
Anything to report?
Nothing, my lady. The rebels have been routed, and the Egyptians give us little cause for concern. Some have gathered outside in protest. A pointless gesture.
Have the men take names?
Yes, my lady.
meant to die at your hand.
I do not want to kill you, Kensa. But look who you serve now.
Who else did I have left?
I have the range.
Murdered by one of you.
Shadia.
Who?
Shadia! She was the child you drowned!
Like all of your kind, you fail to see what greatness lies in store for Egypt.
Is that what you tell yourself? You do not remember those you killed. She was the child of Henut and Hotefres.
Henot was a stubborn rock. That ledger would have meant the end to all our hopes.
You destroyed families.
I did what had to be done.
I will destroy everything you stand for, Berenike! And I will destroy all others like you! But for now, all that matters is that you killed Shadia! And the last one you will remember is her name! Shadia!
And so we get to this assassination. I did actually remember this assassination from my playthrough of the game because it was the one thing that was tying into a sort of character arc, an attempt at story, and basically a Call of Duty shocking moment happened. What happened previous to this, and why Bayek was so angry at Berenike just now, was that this came fresh off of Bayek finding a drowned little girl who was done up by the Templars for very vague and very sadistic reasons, as they're natural to do as the Ancient Ones. He went to the arena to try and find the person responsible and learn that the other person who was, puppeteering the arena or being a patron of it was actually the monster who orchestrated that drowning. I mean, she wouldn't do it herself. She's obviously the, letting other people do the dirty work type of villain. And ultimately, it just shows a bunch of different reasons why the shocking moment doesn't work. It's because the shocking moment of the girl drowning happens in Assassin's Creed Origins as a game, where previously we've been seeing entire villages being burnt, people being buried upside down in the desert, people being, jibbed from being tied to a bunch of horses. We've seen a lot of other sadistic, completely nonsensical evil in this game. The little girl drowning, not enough. And no, seeing people crying over it does not make it more emotional. Like, seriously, you really want me to compare Shadia's drowning to the time that we went and found a literal village burnt and there were corpses everywhere and there were bandits looting the entire burnt village that they had done up just because there was people who were hiding children and Frank style in a world where people don't even look past their own monstrosity and how evil they actually were? Shadia is weak sauce, okay? That's the thing. There is no stakes to this, and even though Bayek is putting himself 100% into the getting the revenge for Shadia's family who are still around and completely distraught because Ubisoft for once actually put in the story behind the events that were taking place to actually make them have weight, but it wasn't enough. Like, you can put weight behind this. If the event itself is weak sauce, then I don't give a shit. I have seen monstrosity so much worse multiple times in this game, okay? You can't do it like this. And two, There wasn't even a fucking reason for it. Even in the post-death cutscene, which was the most amount of story that we got with Berenike, because we only knew that she existed from the last mission and got no character work with her at all, she just comes off as literally the generic Templar template. She's just a Templar. She doesn't do it any way up that makes it personal, that makes it unique, that makes it a thing to stand out. She is a Templar. That's it. Not even frickin' trying. The one time that she would have told us why she killed Shadia and was dicking around with the arena and using its gladiators to do her dirty work across Egypt, and she brushes it off. She doesn't even give us a fucking reason. She doesn't even give us a fucking reason for why she was trying to steal the ledger, which led to the drowning itself. She doesn't have a reason for why she's a monster. She's just a monster 'cause. Like, this is literally Ubisoft bargain basement story writing. We needed a villain, let's just make one. Let's not try to actually explain the villainy. We need a villain! We need it now! Because this game needs 12 antagonists by Sunday. It doesn't work when there's no story around any of them. And the stories that do come up are as shallow and flimsy as they possibly could be. Like, I remember back when I played Metal Gear Acid, and one of the things that people said pissed them off about that game, and definitely it was a deserved criticism, was the fact that the game had like 6 or 8 antagonists throughout the entire thing. But the game was able to get away with that a lot better here than in Assassin's Creed Origins, because it actually explained and actually showed us having time with the cutscenes that it needed to explain the villains, to explain what they were doing, to explain why, and to explain why they're a threat to the entire situation and the main character themselves. Here, no frickin' work was done anywhere. Berenike was literally just given the title of villain, and that was it. Give her the opportunity to tell us why she's a villain and to make us interested in her entire backstory. She flubs it. She just says, I'm evil because I'm evil. I'm doing things for the greater good. I'm not going to tell you why they were for the greater good. I'm just going to assume that you believe me, the person who murdered me for the actions that I did. That's the stupidest thing about all of these Templars, is that they're trying to justify themselves for the one person who they could not possibly be worse at trying to justify themselves to. Bayek is the only person that they're talking to after they die, because this game is not showing us that this is still the Animus representations, showing this to Layla, who was the person in the Animus supposedly experiencing Bayek's journey. Like, it actually made sense in those games as a thing that the Templars in the modern era were trying to do to explain their point of view to the person who was experiencing the context as it stood, as it happened, and therefore trying to get the person experiencing the memories on the side of the Templars. Here, it's Bayek just talking to the Templars themselves. No one else is privy to the conversation. And even if Layla is privy to the conversation, what's the point? What is Layla going to do with this information? Why would I care if she was considering between the Assassins and Templars? You haven't given us a backstory for Layla. You haven't given us a backstory to any of this. The gameplay itself isn't interesting enough to carry this set piece by itself, because it's just Berenike and the buddy that we had from the arena dicking around town, which means that, again, this is an assassination where stealth is bullshit, because they're always together. There's not a mechanic to separate them. There are no assassin tools for a distraction or something. So you just do an air assassination on Berenike and you automatically aggro the combat-ready person on the other side. And because this is a Templar kill, you have to confirm the kill, because this game just wants to fuck with you at every opportunity. Like, there's literally no reason in this game to go in stealthy, other than you played every other Creed game and this is your instinctive reaction to any assassination part. Origins is not built to be a stealth game. It was not designed to be one. And that's because the stealth playgrounds where you're supposed to do the assassinations are just areas copy-pasted from the world map. They aren't areas that were redesigned with the stealth set piece in mind, so you might as well just run in and attack everything and hope for the damn best. The combat may be shit, at least you have a good chance of brute forcing your way to the objective, and then that's it. Like, seriously, at this point, Ubisoft continually not trying anything is just insulting, because they expect people to play this game for 20 hours. They expect this game to be a live service, when it's a game world that isn't established through anything, that isn't explained. It's a world that's as shallow as a kiddie pool. What in the right world that you've created, Ubisoft, is supposed to intrigue people? Yeah, your sandbox is pretty. That doesn't do it, okay? That doesn't fucking intrigue anybody. That isn't a hook. You can give people the frickin' Mona Lisa, they're not going to be intrigued by it for 20 hours. They might be intrigued by it for 15 minutes, but that's it. The frickin' charm has worn off of it completely. You don't want to stare at the Mona Lisa for an hour, and the landscapes of Assassin's Creed Origins do not get, like, interesting, and the biomes change as you progress, which would facilitate your exploration more by making you interested in looking at different places and things. It's all sand, it's all the Nile, it's all the same shit everywhere. What are you doing with Assassin's Creed Origins? Why should anybody continue playing the game beyond this point? If I were playing this personally, I would have stopped like 6 videos ago and called it there, but I had integrity, so I continued and made this rant because I'm getting frickin' tired at episode 10 of Ubisoft just not doing anything, not even trying, not even doing a goddamn sliver of work to make anything interesting, to justify anything's existence, and ultimately, to make this game not look like a complete waste of my time. We'll continue on the series, but I can't imagine I have any goodwill left for the game, so I'm just going to be going on rants for every video now. I hope you enjoy that.